Hi, my name is Ryan Hoover. I'm the director of Handgun Hunters International. I just got this Frankford Arsenal Intellidropper and we're going to do an unboxing of it. But before we do, let's just look at it. This is an electronic automatically dispensing powder scale for reloading. This was recommended to me by another HHI member, the owner of Tyler Classic Outdoors, Heath Tyler. This on the box, let's see what we've got here. It says Bluetooth app. Faster, optimized dispensing speed, plus or minus 0.1 grain weight accuracy. Okay. It holds a pound of powder, over a pound of powder. It's got the calibration weights, protective anti-airflow cover for dispensing. Yep. It's pretty self-contained. It's got a quick dump, integrated bubble level. That's handy. Backlit touch screens and independently leveling feet. What does this app do? Intellidropper powder measure is Bluetooth capable with the free downloadable powder app. Control your powder dispensing from your phone or using the touch screen controls. Maybe we'll download the app. But first I need to find something to open it with because of course I took my knife off. Keys will work. Okay. Manual. Everything is situated in there pretty nicely, bubble wrapped and protected. So let's take out, oh, this is just, is it? Oh, this is bubble wrap for your kids, just protecting things. Okay, we have the cover, the plastic cover, and the powder hopper with some accessories in there. The cup that powder is dispensed into, and the actual scale. That one's kind of, oh, that's kind of heavy. That must be the tare weights. And then, I really do like how they package this. It's got some good here we go. I really do like how they package this. It's got some good foam in it to protect everything. Oh, this is big. Okay. There you go. It says that this way is 12¼ inches and that it's 7 inches across. All right. Let's put the box down there. Can already tell it needs to be leveled. Okay, let's open these little packages that came with it. So first, we have the weights. Oh, it broke through the bottom. $50-gram weight, calibrated. These baggies are hard to open. $50-gram weight, and another 50-gram weight. Okay. Next, the hopper comes in its own bag, and inside that is a little brush for cleaning things, a little paintbrush looking. Oh, the power adapter, transformer and power. And, oh, European. Interesting. Comes with a European plug. Won't be needing that. Even if I go to Europe, I don't plan on taking my powder scale. Okay, a little powder hopper here. Good. Okay. So, in the instructions, yes, I always read instructions. It has saved me a lot of heartache over the years. Okay, you plug it in. Okay, independent leveling feet. Okay, the scale tray, which is this piece right here, goes over in the actual scale. That's what's actually attached to the scale itself. The powder pan, where the powder is dispensed. The clear air draft cover. Oh, there's a Frankford Arsenal little name badge here that has melted off. Okay. All right. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Okay, according to the instructions, you have to plug it in, and it goes in on the left side as you're looking at it here. And they say allow the device to stabilize for a minimum of 15 minutes. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, I get it for the scale, but okay. While the device is stabilizing, adjust the 4 feet. So it's not level because it's really dropping in the back here. So I'm gonna drop this foot. You know, bubble levels just make us OCD people get even worse. Okay, I'm just gonna press and make sure that all of the feet are contacting it. It's level. Not as level as I want. Real engaging content here, leveling this thing. Okay, I'll take that. So I'm gonna let it finish stabilizing for 15 minutes and come back. Time's up. Okay, so we've allowed it to stabilize for 15 minutes and now we're going to calibrate. Okay, so first we need to make sure obviously that the tube that the powder dumps the powder tube empty spout is what they call it. Make sure that that is closed, and it is. Okay, so let's go. Let's see here. All right. For those of you who don't read the instructions, we'll do this together. Okay, so let's see. Once the device is stabilized, minimum of 15 minutes may be calibrated. To calibrate the device, perform the following. Well, first let's do the most satisfying part, which is taking off this cover. Oh yeah. Yep. That was good. All right, now remove the pan from the tray. Check. Press the 0 button on the screen. Check. Press the Cal button on the screen. Check. This will prompt the screen to flash 0. Once the scale has stabilized, it will begin to flash 50. Place one of the included 50-gram calibration weights onto the scale plate. Check. Ensure that the weight is centered as much as possible without it touching the dispensing spout. Check. Once the device has stabilized, it will display stable. Gotcha. Press the Cal button again. Okay. Then it'll say stable again, and it flashes to 100. So we will place the second weight on. Ensure that the total weight is centered as much as possible without touching the dispensing spout. Once the device is stabled, it will display stable on the screen, and you press Cal again. All right, now it's calibrated. Pass. Okay, place the pan back onto the tray. And 0 by pressing the 0 button. Easy enough. At this point, the device is ready to dispense. Great. Now let's figure out how to do that. Okay, I've put some powder in here and I've been testing it against my balance beam scale over here. I'm using H110. The reason that I use H110 is twofold. One, it's the powder that I use the most of. I shoot a lot of Magnum revolver loads, and H110 is easy to find and relatively inexpensive. I mean, all powder is expensive now, but also it's incredibly difficult to meter because it's so fine, it's so small, it sticks to anything with the most minimal static electricity. There's the word I'm looking for. I knew I'd come to it. Anyway, so I've been reading through the instructions. This has a couple of interesting features. Still haven't decided whether or not they're actually features that I'm interested in or gimmicks, but interesting nonetheless. One of them is that it has something called powder cal feature. Basically, it calibrates the motor speed to allow the device to run as fast, allow the scale to go as fast as possible while dispensing. So basically what you do with the powder cal is you press the powder cal calibrate button and it will test itself with this powder, and then you can pour it back, and it supposedly has found the most efficient speed at which to run the motor to dispense the powder. One thing that I have found, it says for best results use the provided air draft cover, but when I use this cover the weight changes. Well, maybe not now. Interesting. Maybe the scale needs to settle. That does happen with scale sometimes, but I had it to where when I had the powder, when I had the air draft cover on it, it was going to 0.2 of a grain difference. Also, you might note this blue thing on the powder hopper here. I always keep painter's tape or masking tape around so that I can write what powder I have in the hopper in case I leave it and come back, I will know what's in there. H110, again, very difficult. One of the things that I find difficult about it is if you're pulling off this has nothing to do with the scale. This is just something that I have found, and a frustration I thought I'd share with you guys, is if you were to bump that powder trickler as it's coming out, you will spill some powder into your pan here. So whenever you're pulling it out, especially with H110, just be careful not to bump it, and it's very easy to do, especially depending on what angle you are at to the machine. Sometimes it's even, so sensitive that if you do that with the pan, some powder will fall in it. So I have found it to be dispensing accurately enough for my purposes. I had to go back and forth with the air draft cover and without the air draft cover to get it dialed in. Now, one thing about electronic scales that I have found through using them over the years is that you do have to throw a few charges for it to kind of get its eye in, and that's probably what's going on with this. So I'm pretty satisfied. Let's back out again and go over the things that I do and the things that I don't like. Okay, do you want the good news or the bad news? We'll start there. I guess we'll start with the bad news because I want to end this on a high note. The scale, a couple of things that I don't like about it. One major thing is the hopper here. This is basically just a clear plastic piece that fits into the main body. The lid for this is tight. The seal of this lid on this clear plastic hopper is tighter than the clear plastic hopper fits into the body. What that means is if you don't hold on to this and you try to pull the lid off, you'll pull the whole plastic thing off and you'd have powder spilling everywhere. So be very aware of that. I don't know if that's my particular scale that I got or this is a feature, not a feature, this is a bug that is endemic to all of these scales, but be aware that that could happen. And so always, I mean, it's probably a good idea to use two hands always, but I feel like that should have been paid better attention to. Another thing is, and again, I will find out more about this as I use it, is the difference I was experiencing in having this cover on or not. And that is, again, could be just this thing acclimatizing to this room or whatever, because scales are precision instruments after all, and there you go. One more negative thing that I do have, the name plate for this thing was this little plastic or rubberized nameplate, and it's cool looking. Frankford Arsenal Intellidropper. I really do like that. But it's stuck on with this adhesive that I don't know what the deal is. It feels like it's one of those things that got hot and then just fell off. But it leaves a residue, and I don't like that. I'll throw it away. And yeah, I got the residue on my fingers, and not a fan. This would make a cool patch though. Maybe I'll put some Velcro. Maybe I'll put a command strip on the back of it and then reattach it, because they deserve props, right? Okay. Another negative. This is pretty minor, but the buttons, you can't just tap them. You have to hold the buttons down. So if you think 0, you're going to do that. You know, you're not. You got to do that. And again, that is a very minor complaint, although I just noticed that as I was experimenting and using the scale, there were several times I tapped it and thought that it should have gone, and it didn't. Again, minor thing. Even if I knew that, I still would have purchased this scale. Okay, now on to the things that I do like. I like how big it is. I know a lot of people may complain about how much space it takes up on your bench. For me, I really like that because, one, it's easier to level something with a footprint this big, in my opinion, because it just is. The buttons are bright and big. I do like these 2 buttons up front, the power button and the go button. I feel like, you know, you're not going to make a mistake and press the wrong go button. You know, you don't have to hunt and peck for it on the screen here. I like how I like the display. I like the ease of calibration. Calibrating this thing is very easy, and the weights that it came with are handy. You know, most scales come with this these days. And I do like how easy it is to empty, and it has a nice big emptying spout down here. You just turn it to the side of your bench, hold your bucket, your powder bucket underneath it, and open it, and it'll drain out. And I do like, it seems to be accurate enough. Again, it's going to take some more experimentation, and H110 is usually not a fair test because it's such a finicky powder to meter. I usually try to keep my loads within a margin to where if I'm over or under a half a grain, it's really not going to make that much of a difference. So I'm not complaining about that. And as I reload other calibers, or other powders rather, I'll be able to tell if the powder is the cause. Now, one of the main reasons that I purchased this scale, it was recommended to me, like I said, by an HHI member, was its ease, you know, being able to easily set up and start dispensing powder to do reloading, because like most people, I'm pretty busy these days, and it's an in and out kind of thing. And when I want to reload, I don't want to have to waste a lot of time setting up. I have been using a Lee Perfect powder measure, the kind that you just hold the case under and drop the powder down. And what I love about that powder measure is that it is fast, that I can just put the case under there and all the powder falls into the case at once. What I hate about it is that it's not sealed tight enough to keep H110 in the mechanism. So as it falls through, the H110 just kind of spills out through everywhere that there's an interface between a moving part, and it's frustrating. It would work better for a larger grain, a stick powder, or an even larger spherical powder, or larger flake. Maybe, I don't know about flake powder. Well, I don't know. But anyway, so that's why I bought this thing, because I wanted something that I don't want to have to use the beam scale, because obvious reasons, that just takes forever. This is definitely in the middle as far as speed is concerned, but I am happy to have it because I can just set it and forget it and reload and, you know, make sure that I go through all my proper procedures. But this scale is going to make things a lot easier on me as far as not having to worry about it. So I'd like to know what you think about the Intellidropper. If you have one and I missed something, let me know. If you've had a good experience or a bad experience with this, let me know. I'd love to know about it, or if there's any tips or tricks for using this that I should know about. But overall, happy with my purchase, and I suggest if you're looking for an electronic scale, this one's pretty reasonably priced to have the scale and dispenser in one. So go check it out. If you're interested in getting an electronic scale / dispenser, maybe give this one a look. You can find them on sale, pretty reasonably priced these days, and it was worth the money as far as I'm concerned. Thanks for watching this video on the Intellidropper. Just a little bit of an unboxing and review, first thoughts. I can't wait to use it more. I really appreciate you watching an HHI video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, like it, and leave a comment below. Let us know what other kind of content you'd like us to create. If you're a handgun hunter, you need to be a member of HHI. We are the premier handgun hunting membership organization, and our mission is to support and grow the sport of handgun hunting and its community. So please head on over to handgunhuntersinternational.com, join. You will automatically be entered to win any one of our giveaways, all of which are worth way more than the price of membership. And you'll have access to some of our members-only content, as well as being able to interact with our many experienced and friendly and just great community on our forum. So handgunhuntersinternational.com/join HHI. We'd love to have you.